now.
How about now? Whose voice wins?
Chewbacca. Hi. Yeah, whose voice wins? Don't go there. Don't go where?
Don't go into the who has a better voice.
Oh, okay. That's good. People say this is good. Sky always wins. I didn't expect that answer. I got to admit, I was thinking not that answer.
It is Ooh, I do win back in the silkiness, the coveted silkiness categorization.
Great.
But it looks like you are winning overall.
Pretty similar.
Like a landslide.
We got a 50-50. We got a lot of 50-50s. But audio's on point now. So I guess. Okay. So that's good.
At least we got that.
Yeah. So how was your last week? I know you had that thing going on. How did it go?
The things, oh man, it was intense.
Go on.
I did the conference, keynoted. That was a blast. Tons of young, very, very smart people in all sorts of different fields. Got them all jazzed up about science communication. So that was great. Then I was supposed to do this event in Manhattan Wednesday night, but my train from DC was 3 hours and 40 minutes late getting into New York. So literally all I did was arrive at Penn Station in Manhattan and grab a bite to eat, and I took my train back to DC.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I totally missed the event that I was headlining, which sucked.
How was the food? How was the dinner?
Let's not. Oh God, the food was terrible, of course, and there were literally rats scurrying around the waiting area of Amtrak in Penn Station.
Someone said cheese. Look at these optimists.
I bet there was cheese at the event that I was supposed to be at. I bet they had like big old trays, maybe a cheese fountain. No.
Guys,
just greasy pizza and rats for me.
Great. Well, so I'm sure you were super happy, and that went great.
That was great. Gave me lots of train time, which I really needed. And then the rest of the week I spent sitting in a chair answering every possible question about astrophysics in front of a camera for the Science Channel.
Well, that's not bad.
It's those kinds of interviews are always really fun. They are beyond intense. It is filming for 8 hours straight. Or I mean, we get breaks, like a little lunch break, a little, okay, we'll let you go to the bathroom break.
How nice.
Yeah, they're very polite. But it is 100% like on camera, energetic, like black holes are the most interesting thing I've ever seen in the universe.
And they're like, now do that again.
Now do that again. Can we get a little bit more energy, Paul? A little bit more energy. Black holes blow my mind. They're like, that was good, Paul, but you had a little bit of fluff in the middle there. Could you try that again? This time with a little bit more energy. And I'm getting up and I'm like picking up the chair and
throwing it.
Black hole, like WWE style.
Yeah.
No, it's not quite like that, but it is like 100% on, energetic, camera ready, and it's just literally hundreds of questions.
Do you have to wear makeup?
Oh yeah, I wore makeup. So they had makeup ready for me, but my wife prepared me. So I've been in this game.
Wait, your wife does the makeup?
So she wasn't on set with me, but she has been on set with me before, and she's done my makeup. And for this is like a dream come true for her. She's like, I was practicing this on Barbies for years. This is my moment.
Now I have Ken.
And so she's helped me. The number one thing for me for makeup is shine control. I don't understand why that. Yeah. Yeah. You may have noticed I don't have a lot of hair.
Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know you're hair blind.
Right.
But no, it's a fact. I'm just going to be out with it. I'm bald. I am a bald person.
Okay. It's all right. And we've worked through this.
Yeah, it's whew,
Right.
it gives me goosebumps just to say it out loud.
I know.
Like, I am a bald person.
Did you
Wow,
guys all catch
it's
that?
so liberating.
I know.
So yeah, there's a lot of shine control that needs to happen. And so there's a lot of shine sheets, like oil absorbing blotters going on. And then she picked out this really great powder foundation that takes care of the oil and gives me very smooth appearance. And that's my go-to. So they were very excited to see that. I brought my own makeup kit.
See, these are things I would never, ever really think that an astrophysicist would say. Like, he just, did you guys clip that real quick where he just was talking about how his wife brought out a great powder foundation?
Yeah, I could do makeup tutorials on YouTube. I'm there. No, it's CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous.
Wow.
Is my go-to.
That's amazing.
But I think they just discontinued it.
You know, I don't even know the name of my stuff. I'm impressed, Dr. Paul.
That's right, because I'm worth it.
Oh my
God. No, it's totally surreal. It is totally surreal that I had no idea, even when I started doing more outreach, I started doing more podcasts and videos, that I would be with my wife in the makeup aisle, and she would be holding up, different palettes, and like, I think you're more of a natural beige.
Yeah, see, I'm still working.
Not an ivory.
Yeah.
And, now it's summer, so you have a little bit of tan, so we have to go to a little darker shade. And I had no idea that I'd be putting on makeup on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird, but I roll with it. And so the camera, it's the Science Channel shoot, everything I recorded. So I recorded one day when I got into DC, and it was on a baseball field. And we're doing lots of demos and stuff, lots of metaphors, really cool stuff. Then we went into a kitchen and we did some more metaphors there. And then the last 2 days were just 100% to a camera interview. Just tell me about neutron stars. Tell me about black holes. What about the blah, 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 blah. And
do you have a script, or do you just have to?
No script. So the director is there, and a couple producers, the camera guy, sound guy, and he just has a list of questions. So they've like what they do for How the Universe Works, which is a show I interviewed for, is they have the general structure of the show. They know the points they want to hit, and they have around, I think, 10 scientists that they interview and spread out over all the episodes. And then they just assign, and then from that structure, they come up with tons of interview questions. Okay. Like, could you tell me about this? Well, what about this? Can you comment on this? And then they divide those questions up amongst all the scientists.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's just talk to me, just talk. And then I give them, I'll say stuff, and I know it'll get chopped up. I know it'll get sliced and diced. I know it'll get shifted around.
Just like that movie,
That movie.
That you were going to be in, that you had a little role, and they were like, we're going to actually just cut your scene out almost entirely.
Yes.
We'll just keep you glancing.
I'm not bitter about it. Sony said they were going to send me the clip of my scene so that I can share it on social media. I'm not sure I want to anymore.
I wouldn't. That's kind of
because I'm just sitting there. It'll be just like cuts to me going like.
You should tweet that out and be like, guys, I'm important.
I'm important.
And then it's a 5-second clip of just you doing, your cameo, and that's it.
It's that. Yeah, so I know it gets sliced and diced, but the producers are good. I like the content of the show. I like the directions they take to the show. So I know they'll capture the intent of what I was saying. But it was 16 hours of footage.
Wow.
And probably total my appearance time across all 10 episodes will total maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops.
Gotcha. Yeah, the chat's making me laugh way too much. They do this. They do this to me. So someone said, is Dr. Paul getting paid for this? And then Joe says he thinks he does.
Yeah, we'll send you a check next week, Paul. Science Channel, I do gratis. They did buy me lunch and Ubers.
You know.
And let me see, History Channel, they paid me an appearance fee, which was really weird because that's just gonna be like 2 minutes tops that I'm in the History Channel episode. And they paid for me to come out to LA, a couple nights hotel, all the food I could eat, Ubers anywhere I wanted to go, even when I wasn't going on set, and an appearance fee.
Not makeup, guys. Makeup's not included in that.
They again, they had their own makeup, but they saw I brought my makeup, so they had their makeup artist put on my makeup.
I am just picturing you with a caboodle. Do you remember caboodles?
What's a caboodle?
It's from so you're a child of the 80s.
It is true.
So yeah.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, you have to. They're like little kits. If you don't have a caboodle kit, I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I definitely recommend that. I don't have enough makeup to put in a caboodle kit, but if I did, I would get one.
Wow. Wait. Oh, I pulled up a video on YouTube called Caboodle, but it's Caboodle Kitchens.
Yeah, no, it's spelled with a C, I believe. Wow, we are really... It's amazing. You should look it up, though. It's like a tool.
There's an
it's
official
like a
site,
toolkit.
caboodles.com.
Yeah, I don't know what they look like nowadays.
Oh, one of these. It's like a big plastic tub.
It's like a toolkit, but for makeup.
I see.
Girls have them.
No, I just have a bag. I just have a bag like this.
Yeah, mine's not even that. That's a nice bag. That's a nice bag.
Oh, this is my electronics bag.
Oh.
It gets much more protection than my makeup bag.
Someone else said here
this is my dongle sack.
Great. So let's see here. So tidally locked moon. Oh yeah. So, oh wait, someone did ask, and I do have to, I'm sorry, I just have to ask. Do they make you wear lipstick?
And there's a question. No lipstick, chapstick though, just so you don't look dried out. You want healthy lips. Right. I don't need like lipstick. And I don't know why someone's asking why I'm wearing a t-shirt under the shirt. It's because in addition to having no hair, I also manufacture sweat.
Mm-hmm. Well, wouldn't
in copious quantities.
So wouldn't doubling up on that make that worse?
No. So basically nothing affects my sweat output, and it's independent of temperature or activity level. It's just like a constant, moisture and greasy moisture. And so the inner layer absorbs sweat, and it also wicks it away. It wicks it, gets it to the surface.
Wow, you just whixed it.
Wicks it.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I answer the questions that the people ask.
No fear. Yep. Everybody said damp memes. Yep. So you do know what's kind of like special about this whole moon thing that's coming up with all of that, or have you been checked into the space news, or have you been dealing with body sweat and working out if you need to move up in a different kind of foundation for your face?
So 90% of my time now is makeup based.
I figured.
And so the space stuff, there's the Parker Solar Probe, which is going to launch. It's if it's not pushed back, it's going to be a week from Monday.
Yeah. What's that about?
Oh my gosh, the Parker Solar Probe. So I'm actually going to be down there.
You're going?
I'm going. NASA invited me.
Yeah.
To cover it.
Me too. Not really.
Oh.
I could have.
I was so excited, but you didn't go?
No, because they had you could go as media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough money. So.
Yeah, because they don't pay for you to go. They just give you a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the solar probe, the Parker Solar Probe.
No, the Parker Solar Probe is absolutely fascinating. One of the key things that it's going to attempt to uncover is we don't understand fully, which, by the way, there was in my interviews, I think I said that every 5 minutes was we don't fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
We don't fully understand how solar weather is generated. We don't understand the detailed physics. We don't understand how often solar storms happen. We don't understand why the sunspot cycle is the way it is. We don't understand why the atmosphere of the sun, the corona, is so much screaming hotter than the surface. And so we're going to make a space probe and we're going to throw it in the face of the sun, and it's going to tell us what it sees.
And it's going to be pretty close to the sun.
Million miles from the surface?
Something like that. Let me look it up.
Closest approach. It's going to do a bunch of dips. So it'll be in this really long, lazy ellipse around the sun. So it'll spend most of its time away from the sun, collecting data, communicating with Earth. And then it'll do these close dives to get really close, sample the corona, get some close-up images of the surface, take some magnetic field measurements, solar wind measurements, and then fly back out to cool off. So I think it's doing a total of 1 or 2 dozen dips. And that's it. That's all it can handle.
It's going to get about 3.83 million miles above the surface of the sun.
3.8. So about 4 million miles.
So we'll just say 4 million miles.
We're going to round that up.
Yeah, and we've never gotten that close to the sun, have we?
Absolutely nothing. So we have solar observatories in orbit around the Earth. For a while, we have the SDO, which are in Earth orbit. They're the same orbit as the Earth, but they're at this the 93 million miles away from the sun.
And those have cool video feeds.
Oh, what man! If I love the images that SOHO and SDO produce.
Me too.
Sun. These amazing high detail, high resolution videos of like the Mercury transit, and you can see the solar granules and the flares. It's beauty. And we had the Helios probe for a while. We have the Europeans. They're going to launch, or did they launch? They have Bepi Colombo on its way to Mercury. But this is it. This is the closest we've ever been.
You just spoiled I was just going to talk to people about the Mercury thing. Okay, so now that you've said it, astrophysicist,
sorry.
I'm never going to, don't go to the movies with this guy if he's already seen it, okay?
Hey guys, have you seen, who's the guy that plays Spider-Man in the new Marvel movies that spoils everything and leaks everything?
That's probably not Tobey Maguire. I don't know who the new Spider-Man is. Someone will say it. Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. So I'm the Tom Holland of the physics and astronomy world.
Great. Debbie
Do
Downer.
not give me embargoed data because I will just tell people.
Right. Well, that's actually pretty cool that you're going to mention that anyways, because that's something we were going to talk about. So what's the whole Mercury thing?
Yeah, what's up with Mercury?
Why are we going to Mercury?
No, beats me. Mercury has a couple mysteries, and it is very interesting for studying the early days of the solar system. One of the big mysteries is Mercury has a very, very, very weak magnetic field, but it's not zero.
Right.
So here we are, the smallest planet in the solar system, where some moons, I think, are bigger than Mercury. And it should be 100% lifeless. It should be 100% dead, like the moon. And yet it has this very weak magnetic field. How the heck is it generating a magnetic field? We don't know.
Magnetic fields. That's how you answer that question. You just answer with the word magnetic.
Magnetic field causes the magnetic field of Mercury. See where you're going. This is PhD level stuff. We don't understand the magnetic field. We don't understand where it came from. We don't understand why it's still operating. Mercury has a very, very thin atmosphere. How do you maintain an atmosphere that close to the sun?
Right. Very thin, obviously, because it is definitely scarred, battered, and bruised. But
scarred, battered, and bruised, like my soul.
It is like my soul. After this weekend, after this month, yes. So yeah, but it still has. So does that mean we obviously know what generates a magnetic field? It's not the same as, say, Venus, because Venus doesn't have one. It has like an induced magnetic field.
Yeah, that's right. So we don't think. I'm not 100% up to date on the latest research on Mercury, but we don't think it's induced. we think it's internally generated. Why?
Right.
We don't know.
And also, it's really weird with its orbit and its rotational period, too.
Yeah, so most small objects orbiting big objects will very quickly get tidally locked, where just one face of that smaller object, the moon or the planet, will be permanently pointing towards its parent. So the same face of the moon always points towards the Earth. That should have happened with Mercury a long time ago, but it didn't. It didn't because there's another character in the solar system, Jupiter. And Jupiter, even though it's very far away, is really, really big and can gently tug and tweak and poke at Mercury and pulls it just out of tidal locking, giving it a 3-to-2 resonance, I think. So 3 orbits for every 2 rotations or every 2 orbits. One of those is true.
Yeah, and these were things that have been very, very weird with Mercury. I mean, a lot of scientists that we know, great minds, really struggled with it.
Deep minds.
Yeah.
Perplexed by Mercury.
There is so weird. There's like, I don't know if it's my computer, but everybody's probably going to get startled by that. Wait for the chat to just be like, what face? Just wait for it. Yep. See, There's one right there.
Love it.
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, guys. There's so many of them. I love them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, because there's like a chirp happening. It might be it's probably your fault. I'm just going to say.
I refuse.
It's probably your fault.
I refuse to take blame for that.
Just throwing it out there. It's probably his fault, guys, not mine.
I'm not going to. No.
This man wears makeup.
To be.
Don't trust him. Okay, that's what we learned today. I never knew that Jupiter was tugging on Mercury. So Jupiter tugs on pretty much everything. It's our most massive planet.
Jupiter is the bully.
Yeah. Did you say the bully?
The bully.
Great. Now he's taking away my words. Wonderful. Great job, science communicator. Glad we had this talk. Go on, though, please.
See, you should have been in Cape Canaveral next week.
I know.
Imagine us on camera interrupting each other all the time.
It'd be so great.
And stealing your jokes because I thought of them first.
But okay, so that would probably happen maybe every now and again, maybe a quarter of the time, but so Jupiter's
the bully. It just keeps poking and prodding all over the system. It can't even. Jupiter is so big. How big is it? Jupiter is so big that it causes the sun to wobble, and where the center of the orbit between Jupiter and the sun is actually outside the sun. So the sun will rotate around a point like this. All the planets do this technically, but Jupiter is big enough that that point is outside the surface of the sun itself. So our sun makes a little circle in the middle of our solar system because Jupiter is so big.
Mm-hmm. You know what I usually call the sun? The fat kid in the trampoline. I think I've told you that before.
The fat kid in the trampoline. That's the general relativity-ish, space-time bending kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I just don't. I lose it after that because I usually am laughing so hard that I.
You run out of other metaphors.
Yeah.
So we got the fat kid in the middle of the trampoline.
Yep.
And then what's Jupiter? Jupiter's the bully picking on the fat kid.
Well, he'd have to be
great.
Yeah, I know. He'd have to be pretty massive.
Bringing up a lot of memories, actually.
I know, and that's where I think I just stop with it because I'm like, I think I just ruined everybody.
Now I'm sad because I was the fat kid in school.
Jupiter is. Oh yeah, so someone just worked in some wonderful. Thank you, Fengresh, for that. Some meme stuff. So Jupiter's thick. That's how we would say that. Mm-hmm.
With the 2 C's. That's right.
Yes.
Jupiter is just thick. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. It's just
so
thick.
Jupiter pulls and pokes and prods. It prevented a planet from forming where the asteroid belt is. It probably gave Mars its 2 moons. It has a, check this out, when it comes to Mercury, in addition to this, keeping it out of tidal locking, its interaction with Mercury caused Mercury's orbits to be slightly unstable, where over the next 5 billion years, there's something like a 10% chance that Mercury will just get ejected from our solar system.
A 10%?
Something like 5 to 10% over 5 billion years, Mercury is unstable.
Wow.
And Venus has like a less than 1% chance of being ejected, and then all the other planets are dynamically stable. But Mercury is in an chaotically unstable orbit.
Guys, no, I know. See, my chat's not okay with this news.
We could just lose, like tomorrow, literally tomorrow, we could wake up and Mercury will be gone. If it hits just the wrong gravitational interaction at just the wrong time.
Someone just said, I have indigestion now. See, look what you're doing. You're stressing out. You're stressing. My chat is not.
Your chat has to be ready for the hard truths. All right?
I'm working on it.
We are growing up.
I'm working on it.
No more mollycoddling.
So in theory, as it's displaced, could it impact Earth? And with the question about us.
It could, but there's a vanishingly small chance it would actually intersect the Earth's orbit on its way out. We'd have to be extremely unlucky.
She gone. Smoke and Chill says. So, and now Dr. Paul becomes a bully.
I'm not a bully. I'm just a truth teller.
Yeah, and so someone says, goodbye, Mercury. We hardly knew you, which is not wrong. We don't know a lot about Mercury.
We don't know a lot about Mercury. We don't know a lot about Venus. Mars gets all the attention. Jupiter and the frozen moons.
But
Saturn.
Jupiter's kind of worked for it, though. You know?
Because it's fat and sassy.
Yeah, and it handles a lot of the things that come in from, places like, the Kuiper Belt.
Like Shoemaker-Levy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I showed everybody fun. That was pretty cool. And also the person that you get that clip from, if you look for it on YouTube to show that impact, the news broadcaster definitely gives you a throwback feel. You feel like you stepped into a different time when watching that as well.
Was it 90s or was it early 2000s?
Oh, it was definitely 90s. She was rocking that like the woman business blazer. Yeah, and her hair
and the shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulder pads that. Yeah.
1994. Like what a time to be alive. Jurassic Park had just come out. This comet impacted Jupiter.
Yeah. So, but why are we not going out and looking at things like Uranus and Neptune? I'm in before all of the jokes about Uranus.
Yeah, no. The jokes around Uranus are endless, aren't they?
Yeah, never ending.
The planetarium at Cosi, whenever there's a group of kids, they basically do the Uranus joke right away, just to get the giggles out so they can move on.
Yep, that's how that does not change.
You were
with
all
time.
wondering about Uranus. If we could get a close-up view, turns out it's really gassy. Not all it's cracked up to be. Now that's a fresh one. That's a fresh one.
That's a new one. That's a new one, Neon. Well done.
And no, it's there's so much politics that go into mission selection for NASA. At any one time, there are dozens of proposals out there for various missions to all over the place in the solar system. And at any one time, there's one or two, maybe three, like top competitors. Then the next round of funding, when we just go to design a spacecraft and launch it, that they're going to be it, like one of these two or three. And Uranus and Neptune are in a bad spot orbit-wise, where the only reason we were able to get to them before with the Voyager probes was everyone was all lined up and we can do this. We could use Jupiter's and Saturn's gravity to get us out to Uranus and Neptune. Mm-hmm. And so now, if we want to visit Uranus and Neptune, we could pick one, probably couldn't do both. and it would have to be it. It'd have to be another flyby. And because it's too expensive for us and it's too hard for us to figure out how to put an orbiter around Uranus and Neptune because they're so far away. And there just isn't the will to spend that much money for just another flyby of one of these giant planets.
So it's up to us to like get hype for it.
It's up to us. No,
we have to talk about Uranus.
Were to demand, like if seriously people were to say, we want Uranus, maybe we'd have to pick a different slogan. We'll go with Neptune.
First,
we want Neptune.
Yeah.
We want Neptune. We want Neptune. Lawmakers would listen. NASA directorate would listen. And, it's not a guarantee because there's lots of internal bureaucratic forces that don't care what the public thinks.
Right.
But there was a lot of public sentiment and political will that pushed New Horizons over the edge to go to Pluto.
That was just Alan Stern, okay?
Yeah. Did you tell the stamp story?
No. Tell the stamp story.
So NASA was going to send a mission to Pluto in the late 90s, but then they scrubbed it. And then they were going to send it in the early 2000s, and they scrubbed it again. And then in 2000, I want to say 2002, 2003, somewhere around there, the post office did a stamp series on the planets.
Uh-huh.
And each planet was shown the planet and then the mission that went to it and then some cool thing like a picture of Mars and then Mariner, like the Viking, some stupid phrase. And then Jupiter had Voyager, to the king of the planets, something really, really sexy. And so it had all the planets and then it had Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't even have a picture of Pluto. It had an artist rendition. And it said Pluto, not yet explored.
Poor Pluto.
And so people like Alan Stern took pictures of that stamp and they put it in every single presentation they gave. And they said, oh yeah, you're NASA, you claim to be scientists and explorers and curiosity seekers, and we've mapped the solar system. Well, what about Pluto? The post office had to make something up because we don't have a picture of it. Not yet explored. And so it was like a challenge, and that actually helped galvanize a lot of support. This is all according to Alan Stern, to finally do a mission to Pluto.
And someone said jokingly, but would that cut Space Force's funding? I think we should mask Space Force is actually not military, but just tell people it is military, but really do science missions with it.
I think the goal of the Space Force should be to conquer the solar system.
Defeat aliens?
Just destroy whatever we find, but let us take pictures of it first.
Yes.
Let's plant some flags. Let's bring democracy to Enceladus. The Enceladassian space whales are living under a horrible dictatorship.
Absolutely.
And above a lot of natural resources.
Mm-hmm. Freedom.
And we need to free those space whales. They will welcome us as space heroes.
Kryptonian.
But they won't wave. I mean, they'll flap. And they don't really have ticker tape. It's more of an algae thing. It's very complicated. But they'll appreciate it. They'll appreciate it. And we can't march. I mean, we can march on the surface they don't know because there's 100 miles of ice.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll work on it.
So,
when we get there, let's get there first, and then we'll take care of all those issues.
Yeah, so someone said we need a Kryptonian outpost and also just at least have one McDonald's, just set up a McDonald's. I don't understand why there's not funding behind this. I feel like these are great ideas.
I think, McDonald's with a sufficient will could transform the rings of Saturn into two golden arches. It just kind of elongate their orbits. They disconnect.
Are we doing gravity art? Are we doing gravity art? I don't feel like we've reached that level yet. Roche limit art. guys.
That's on the Kardashev scale, right? Kardashev 1.5 is when a private corporation can harness gravity for advertising purposes.
Absolutely.
I remember. I read.
Frozen. You're frozen. Oh, Lord. He's gone. He just started. It's because they found out about this really good idea, and nobody wants these.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Wow.
Are you all right?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah. Are you dying?
Maybe. It's been rough.
Okay, just give me your account password so I can take all your audience.
Yeah, we need a
guys.
clip
I'm the new Skylias. I will only be on for 1 hour a week, but that's all you can handle, really.
That clip will be amazing. I'm gonna have to watch that after this because you froze, and it was right after you started talking about your brilliant idea, and then the next thing we see is you holding up the book after you unfroze. Okay, moving on.
Oh no! What was the last thing you heard?
That would be good marketing with the gosh, I'm sorry. I just the real
was it the Kardashev scale, Joe?
Yeah, the markening part of that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I said I read that in the book, and then my segue was speaking of books.
Mm-hmm.
And I slowly picked up my book.
Oh, then you picked up. That's your book.
That's my book.
How thick is that book?
It's not as thick as Jupiter. It's just one C and a K.
And what does it talk about? Can you read your own thing on the back of it?
Oh.
Because that's not going to feel cringy at all.
There's lots of words on the back.
You can do it.
Okay. This is my advanced reader copy, by the way. It's still, I'm going through a copy editing process right now.
Okay.
But they sent me this to just give me a vibe of what it'll look. I don't know why they sent me this. It's so I can put it up here during all my live streams.
No, you're supposed to put that on your fireplace mantle.
Okay.
Right next to your...
I can use it. It's great fire starting material. This is nice. It's not waxy paper. I can start a lot of fires with this.
Great.
Okay. Our universe is big, old, and messy. How do we fit into that grand context? Astrophysicist, science popularizer, and host of the Ask a Spaceman podcast, Paul M Sutter helps us explore and understand. That's the yellow bits right there. That's for the really impatient people. And then if you're hooked, like, ooh, this might be nice. So the progression is, that's a pretty cover.
It is a pretty cover.
Then you flip it over. That's a handsome fella. What's this up here? Oh, it's about space. Read on. How is a galaxy billions of light years away connected to us? Mm-hmm. Is our home nothing more than a tiny speck of blue in an ocean of night? In this exciting tour of a universe far larger than we can imagine, cosmologist, I've switched from being an astrophysicist to a cosmologist. Cosmologist Paul M Sutter emphasizes how amazing it is that we're part of such a huge, complex, and mysterious place. Through metaphors and uncomplicated language, Sutter breathes life into the science of astrophysics, unveiling how particles, forces, and fields interplay to create the greatest of cosmic dramas. Touched with the author's characteristic breezy conversational style, that Paul Sutter, which has made him a breakout hit on venues such as the Weather Channel, the Science Channel, and his own popular Ask a Spaceman podcast, he conveys the fun and wonder of delving deeply into the physical processes of the natural universe. He weaves together the past and future histories of our universe with grounded descriptions of essential modern-day physics, as well as speculations based on the latest research in cosmology. Topics include, I told you there were a lot of words.
It's okay.
Topics include our place in the Milky Way galaxy, the cosmic web, a vast web-like pattern in which galaxies are arranged, the origins of our universe and the Big Bang, the mysteries of dark matter and dark energy, how science has dramatically changed our relationship to the cosmos, conjectures about the future of reality as we know it, and more. For anyone who has ever stared at the starry night sky and wondered how we humans on Earth fit into the big picture, this book is an essential roadmap.
Wonderful.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
There it is.
There it is. That was amazing. Ask him to speak in... We just got a major host. We just got a 1,301 host from Alicia.
Good job, Alicia.
Is that how I spell that? Or say that? Oliasha. Oliasha.
Wow. Oliasha.
Can I get a shout out, please? Hi.
Good job.
Hi. Yes. So now you only have, another 1,300 people. No pressure. So this is his book.
This is the book. Here are the chapter titles.
Mm-hmm.
Give you guys a date. Prologue. Perhaps this was all a big misunderstanding. Sacred Geometry.
Mm-hmm.
A Broken Universe. Tales from a Bewildering Sky. The Death of Antimatter. Beyond the Horizon. Bathed in Radiance. Reaping the Quantum Whirlwind. Interlude. A Guide to Living in an Expanding Universe. Behold the Cosmic Dawn of Matters Dark and Cold. The Cosmic Web. The Rise of Dark Energy. The Stelliferous Era. The Fall of Light. Epilogue. A Game of Chance.
There was a really dramatic pause right before you said epilogue. And it was technology. Technology gave that to you again.
Oh.
Yeah.
I asked that. So I put a setting on my Zoom conference to give me random dramatic pauses.
Knew it. This is all scripted.
It's an option. It's in the menus, like over here, like up here.
So is the book available for everybody?
It is available for pre-order.
For pre-order,
it will be released November 20th.
Oh, okay.
This is not for sale. This one.
Not that one.
Not this one. I will sell it for $100 though.
So are you going to do book signings and stuff?
Oh my gosh. I am going on tour. It's going to be so exciting. I'm reaching out to people. My publicist is reaching out to people, setting up events, talks, planetarium shows, science pubs across the country. I would also like to do virtual book signings, which me or my publicist is going to get in touch with you at some point in the near future, because I would love to come on like your channel, on Fraser's channel, on John Michael Goodyear's channel, on my own channel, where you can buy the book, and depending on how we set it up, either I'll have a stack of books and I will sign and do a note and then we'll mail it to you, or I'll have a tablet and I'll write a special note for you that you print out and you can slip into your copy.
Or you could give me a few and I can do giveaways on my channel.
Don't worry, you are on some list somewhere. Where you might, there's a chance you might be getting one of these bad boys.
Good.
So that you can provide, or you can read and you can hype it up. If not, then you will get a final copy for promotion.
Yeah, some list. See, with the tinfoil.
You're on some list. Great. My publisher is sending it out to like 200 people. Free copies.
So I'm curious if anybody actually has science questions, which we've been kind of talking about kind of the cool things that are going on in our own neighborhood.
It's been more of an interview of my amazing life.
Well, I was going to ask you about your amazing life anyways. I felt like we hadn't really talked about your amazing life. I feel like this is going to be a two-part.
Since we last talked about my amazing life.
Right. I know.
About time.
See you later, The Truth. And thank you again for that host. Appreciate it. People are asking if I speak Russian. Niet. I don't. Which that seems like now, wait for it. Just wait for it. People are going to be like, she speaks it. I don't.
It's going to be all Russian.
I don't. I'm sorry. Enough to say no. Not yet. Right. I've been working on, I have a lot of German viewers and they help me pronounce things.
Nice. In Russian.
No, not yet. I haven't had anybody teach me Russian yet. But where there's a will, there's a way. So is there any suka? I know what that means. Okay. I had a lot of friends from Russia growing up. Great. And I know
you're the mole.
So I know these words because a lot of my friends were actually from Russia. So I know these words, actually.
My uncle used to sing to me as a child. I've partially Russian heritage, and he would sing Barfanya, Barfanya, Barfanya. In Russia, that means I'd love ya. If I had my way, I'd Barfania all day. Barfania, Barfania, Barfania.
Oh, wow. You guys are really getting a show today.
This is what happens when you don't ask space questions.
And Dyer, I know what that one means too, but like I had a bunch of friends. Like I hung out with a bunch of friends, and I learned a lot of bad things. A lot of things that I wish I learned better.
A lot of impolite things.
Yeah. Yeah. Very impolite things. So anybody have any questions though about space? I'm going to ask you a question then, if nobody else does.
Oh, there's a question. How we know that the border of our universe moves faster than the speed of light? From the Gallic Gamer.
Yeah.
It's we know this because we measure it. We can see the light coming from distant galaxies, and we identify the fingerprints of known elements like hydrogen or oxygen. And we see the exact pattern that we need to see, except it's shifted towards redder colors. And this is a Doppler shift. This is caused by movement of the source. And so we can use that to measure a speed. We can measure the what we call the red shift of that light. We can translate that into a speed, and that speed is greater than the speed of light.
Oh, wait, there's another one too. Okay, this guy just keeps saying that, and I know what that means. Okay, so can we discuss about how we think that lightning on Jupiter creates diamonds or whatever it was?
So I remember there's some conversation about diamond rain on Uranus and Neptune, and I don't think, unless I'm misremembering, I don't know about the lightning on Jupiter causing diamond rain. I know there's lightning on Jupiter because there's a lot of fast moving clouds and they rub up against each other. That creates a lot of friction. That creates a lot of static electricity. That creates lightning. In fact, I think all the giant planets have lightning of some form or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And Uranus and Neptune, though, in addition to having lightning, they can have carbon. That molecules rise up to the surface, they cool off, they clump together, and then they fall. And then as they fall, there's a lot of pressures deep in the atmosphere and squeeze them into diamonds. So you get this diamond-like precipitation in their atmospheres.
And that's pressure.
That's
right?
Pressure. If you squeeze a bunch of carbon, eventually you get a diamond.
Nobody told Elizabeth Taylor that. Missed it. So someone said, I asked this yesterday and I got no response. Is there a planet so big and a star so small that the sun orbits the planet?
That is a good question. I can't think of any examples. When we have systems with small stars, there isn't a lot of material there to make big planets, because a star by its very nature is going to gobble up most of the stuff in the nebula that forms a solar system, and there just won't be a lot left over. And so you can get giant planets around big stars, you can get giant planets around giant stars, you can get little planets around little stars. And in some cases, I think we have seen some gas giants around small stars, but not so much that the planets are smaller than the star itself. Or sorry, larger than the star itself.
Yeah. Aren't there limits on that?
It's not like it's illegal. It's just that the set of circumstances of how stars and solar systems are manufactured means you're probably never going to see that. But I'm sure there's one example somewhere in the universe, because we live in a
very big,
messy universe.
It's a book.
Thank you.
I love it.
On pre-order now.
On pre-order now, by the way.
Just FYI.
Just FYI. So someone said, in layman's terms, can you describe antimatter?
Layman's terms, antimatter is the evil twin of normal matter. And if they meet, they fight.
And what
they
happens
destroy each other.
Okay. Annihilation.
Annihilation.
That does have a good pause on that one.
I did it.
Yeah.
I tried to do it last week and I failed.
Last time it
but
didn't
now
hold up.
You got to own the H in there. You got to own the H.
Yeah.
You got to take it with you.
Break it at the H.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Oh, that's actually, okay, so, wow, that's actually not a bad question. What happened if
Unlike all the others.
The rest are just, yikes. What if you
If you're curious about antimatter, by the way.
There's a whole section in his book called The Death of Antimatter. Because for some weird reason, we ended up with more matter than antimatter.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't know why.
No
which
idea.
I describe in hilarious detail, appropriate for the layman, in my book.
There you go. Wait, I may have the Amazon link to pre-order a certain book. Is that not? Yeah, we got the book link right there too.
Nice.
So someone said, what would happen if we lit a cigarette on Jupiter?
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of burning is a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So here on Earth, there's lots of oxygen just hanging out in the atmosphere. And there's lots of fuel, especially carbon, laying around in the ground. And if you give them enough energy, a chain reaction gets going, which we call fire. So if you have a cigarette or on Jupiter and you try to light it, there isn't enough oxygen just floating around the atmosphere to keep a chain reaction going. So nothing will happen. So smoke them if you got them before you head on that mission to Jupiter with the Space Force.
With the Space Force. And then let's see.
But you could bring, the moon Titan in orbit around Saturn.
Yeah, a lot of methane, ethane.
Yeah, methane atmosphere, but no oxygen. So if you came with a reverse cigarette, a tube of oxygen, it's the reverse. There's fuel floating around in the atmosphere, but not a lot of oxygen. So if you took a tube of oxygen and lit that, you would get a fire going until your oxygen ran out.
Write that one down, guys.
Reverse cigarettes.
Someone says, have we ever seen the remnants of matter and antimatter colliding?
Yes. So we can produce antimatter in the laboratory in certain particle interactions, and we let them touch normal matter all the time, and they release a lot of energy. So they convert into pure energy. And so we can measure those byproducts. We can measure the energy release. We can see the light that is emitted. There are, every once in a while, there is some antimatter in our universe.
Oh, wow, this is a really dramatic pause. Hold on, guys. Embrace the pause. Embrace the pause. This is a really good one. I got to admit, these are, I don't know, just embrace. Hi.
Am I back? Did I go away?
Yeah, you did. You were doing this, and then we got you.
Is it when I move around a lot?
It could be.
It's when I get active.
Yeah, it's you're just too used to doing your filming stuff right now that when you're sitting down and talking.
Can we have a little bit more energy, Paul?
And I'm going to say, you're at 11. Can you bring it down to an 8?
Sorry. This better?
No, that's terrible. And before he just is going to go underneath his desk and disappear. And then, bye, Dr. Paul.
Space is cool, guys.
Hey, that's how I run my stream.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Okay.
Someone said you got hit with antimatter. So what were you saying towards the end of that after you were doing this after
the hand gestures?
Yes.
Yes. We can see antimatter touch matter and it blows up. Don't be near it when it happens. It releases a lot of energy. Go ahead.
Someone said, how did Professor Hawking radiation?
How'd that go? How'd he do it?
How did it go?
Hawking thought of it by thinking really, 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 really hard.
For a long time?
Yeah. Back in 1974 was the paper where he proposed this idea.
Oh, doesn't CERN do antimatter and matter collisions? This is what someone just asked.
Yes. We do matter-antimatter collisions all the time. Usually just like a few atoms or at a time, because otherwise we'd blow the place up.
What is the background of this guest? Okay, so people need to know who you are. We didn't do a formal introduction. Shame on me. Dr. Paul, even though you're getting close to your time being up.
We did a very informal introduction.
Right. So who are you? Why are you talking about space? Who are you?
I am Paul M Sutter, author of Your Place in the Universe, Understanding Our Big Messy Existence. Coming to a bookstore near you November 20th, 2018.
Available for pre-order. Go on.
Available for pre-order right now. I'm also an astrophysicist at Ohio State, host of the Ask a Spaceman podcast, Space Radio, on YouTube and Twitch. And I like cheese. Amateur cheese enthusiast. An ace.
Question: if antimatter and matter reach each other, does the energy that releases it with it only produce normal energy or also anti-energy?
It's just normal energy, usually in the form of high energy radiation. So if matter and antimatter touch, they'll spit out some really crazy bits of light like gamma rays and X-rays.
Got it. Do I need to send an order your way? An order of cheese? Oh, yeah. You have a P.O. box, by the way.
P.O. Box 3322, Columbus, Ohio, 43210.
Someone just said, can you show Triton? We can look at Triton later. Right now, I don't know if I'm looking at Mercury or our moon. Why does regular matter get released and not antimatter? That's a good question.
For some reason, our universe is dominated by normal matter, not antimatter, even though in our laboratory reactions, they are produced in almost exactly equal quantities. Something funny happened in the early universe to make matter win, and we don't really know what.
Okay, well, that's not a question I'm going to ask. You probably see it. But yeah, we can. Yeah, that's why there's more matter than antimatter. Solved. Is it solved?
Solved. It is an open problem in astrophysics.
So not solved. So not solved.
Not solved.
Yeah. So you do know about this whole thing that they're hyping up real quick. I just want to see your take on it because even though I'm not leaving, guys, Dr. Paul is most certainly leaving.
Sky doesn't leave you. I do.
Yeah. He comes and he goes.
Because I don't love you.
I know. So there's a rare red moon and Mars in the evening sky on July 27th.
Double reds.
So what does that mean?
It means it's nice. It's pretty to look at. That's it. It's just nice. We predicted this, I don't know, 400 years ago because astronomy is regular.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to go over what the difference is between a blue moon, a blood moon, super moon. Super
blue, double, super blue moon, conjunctions, oppositions.
I don't feel like I prepared enough for that. That's a good topic to write down. I'm going to write that one down myself.
We are in conjunction with Mars and Jupiter. No, we are in opposition with Mars and Jupiter right now.
Right. And we also, so in the night sky, you can see a lot of planets right now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good planet hunting.
Yeah.
This summer sky.
Yeah.
You get rare. You have Venus right after sunset, and then Jupiter and Mars are right up there, very prominent.
Yep.
Jupiter in the early evening and the Mars later on in the evening.
Yep. There you guys. Blue means hot. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Blue means hot.
That's correct.
But yeah, thanks for coming on and hanging out. And I'm sorry that some of that stuff didn't work out this week, but at least
it's all part of the adventure we call life.
Absolutely. So
it's almost as if
what?
We live in a big, messy universe. And if only there was an essential roadmap to understand it all.
If only. Oh.
Wow.
Hey. Who would have thought?
Fascinating. And humorous. Huh. I'm educated and delighted.
I think we need to get a prop where it just has your book right next to your face for the whole thing. You can maybe
like attach it to these ridiculous headphones I'm wearing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I should go on TV like this.
Yeah.
That's right, Jim Cantori. The Parker Solar Probe is an amazing advancement in human understanding.
Have I told you I'm a science communicator? All right, Dr. Paul, thanks so much for hanging out. You have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you. Always fun. Tons of great questions, as usual.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. He is great, guys. He is wonderful. Dr. Paul is wonderful. Oh, my goodness. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.